All right, so let's continue with our little story. And yes, up till today, HTML is required. Style sheets are still in use, but we have now applications and frameworks and so forth to make it easier to work with. For instance, if you look at Tailwind, now Tailwind get rid of worrying about all these parent-child type of things. And you can see, for instance, here that you have this whole style sheet with all kinds of entries in it where you now, oh, excuse me, where you now can just say inside the button class and then put it all in there in a much easier fashion. Now, you don't have to worry about how it works or how to do it in coding. Cursor and all these coding platforms are very well versed in styling. So I want to move on and now talk about something called JavaScript. So JavaScript does a couple of things. The first thing it does is it provides interactivity and making things more dynamic and look alive. And this is where you get things like if you hover over a button, it might pop up a little bit or change color. You can have alert boxes coming up showing you things, pop-ups. The hated pop-ups, in the old days they started using pop-ups for advertising, and that sort of, put a bitter flavor in most people's mouths, but simply because you have these ads popping up all the time. That's not what the pop-ups were meant for, really. Pop-up will be great if you click on a button, let's say, to subscribe on a newsletter, and a pop-up comes up and say, thank you, you have been successfully subscribed. Please look out for our first email regarding whatever the case may be. So JavaScript started bringing in all kinds of interactivity. So you can, for instance, have tool tips. If you click on maybe a description of something, it can describe it even more for you. So this is the whole thing. It's from things being static to being more alive, looking more real. You can have little gears like this one rotating. You can have maybe this word JavaScript can fade in and out and things like that. So we will do that soon, but the Three Musketeers then ended up with JavaScript that have some behavioral advantages. You have the HTML, and HTML, by the way, grew. We had in the beginning 10 tags or so. So you could have a heading 1 and a heading 2. You could have bold, italic, things like that. But that HTML grew and grew. Now you can have cards, you can have areas, you can place HTML overlapping other HTML and all kinds of things to make your website look great. And then, of course, we have the style sheets. And all three, this are called the Three Musketeers, ended up creating a beautiful looking website. And this is what we call the front end. All right. And you'll see now in the demo that I'm going to do next, how we're going to make all this looks nice. And this will sort of end off our front end. Although we're also going to, in the demo, make these pages look extremely nice, extremely professional. You'll see it in the demo soon. But up to here, we've got the front end wall. and there's not much more than you can do to have a little bit of interactive activity, but there's still no way, for instance, to save passwords, to capture data, to show data from databases, uh, and so forth. So this type of pages will always be public, right? So this is your front end. That's what people will see. It's not really an application yet. Now, excuse me, it becomes an application once we start using databases and creating what's called the back end, right? So we will have a back end created very soon, but I'm stopping right here just simply so I can show you how all this looks like. So just to recap, we've got HTML that gives you like a framework, a layout. We have something called a DOM, which is that whole framework sitting in memory, and the web page will show the stuff that is in the DOM. You can change the DOM without refreshing your pages, and the pages will show that instantly. We have the style sheets. We have a global style sheet that we can use to affect all pages on a website. And now we have the JavaScript added to it. As a last note, JavaScript is in your web browser. So the engine that makes buttons pop out and so forth is inside the web browser. All right, so it is not a program that you install or just things that automatically happens. It is an engine, a programming engine that's living inside your web browser. Why I'm saying that is soon we're going to see how we take the JavaScript out of the web browser and make it available on a server as an standalone framework that now can do all kinds of things like work with your backends and so forth. But that's it. That's JavaScript in a nutshell, and then the rest of the two to make up the three musketeers. So let me create a little demo for you quickly in the next video. I'll see you in that video in the next minute or two. Bye for now.